as far as bands, I do work with a big range of bands, people who send me just song ideas and I help them actually write the song.
Yeah, so it's the same space for the hook, and then this part is like a little bit different, and then what I'm hoping you could do is put another verse, like just kind of chop the beat and put another verse spot.
Yep. To be an engineer these days, I think you do have to have a bit of the producing ability as well, because a lot of people can learn how to use the technology and learn how to use a board, but you have to be able to work with the client as well to kind of pull things out of them.
I kind of want to do it myself. I'm particular about it just because I want it to be like exactly the way that I like it, and I also don't want to find myself in a situation where I'm like, I don't know what's happening. That's like another thing is like when people don't explain, like, here's a cool thing and I'm just gonna do it and whip it up and it's magic, and I'm like, but I want to know how, like, so I can do it on my own.
I'm trying to get the whole process.
I don't know. No. I know you're gonna use this too because you're a fucking idiot.
I don't know. I like that there's like a music scene here. I think that was like part of my like wanting to be here, is just to like be somewhere where there's like creative thought matters and like people are making music.
Skidmore's music scene has always thrived.
I mean, people are here. People like music.
Like most liberal arts campuses, there's always been the skinny white boy playing his acoustic on the lawn. But in recent years, Skid has certainly surveyed a variety of musical talent, ranging from genres such as jazz, hip-hop, classical, singer-songwriter, and rock. For anyone even remotely interested in the music scene, perhaps one may consider the Zankel Music Center to be campus's crown jewel.
I don't have access to the recording studio in Zankel yet.
It took me not taking lessons probably a few months to get through the bureaucracy of that building to be able to actually practice.
While it might not be so apparent at first, active restrictions on the use of these facilities leave students turning to alternative sources to practice and record their music.
Skidmore could surely be better at that, finding a space for artists to play that people can't turn into a living shithole. Sorry.
Even beyond the campus, many musicians have rejected the old studio standard for recording music and had taken to the DIY approach. This leaves one to question. Is there really even a need for studio recording at all anymore? I met up with Jason Brown, owner and producer of Saratoga's own Starling Studios, to discuss his development from musician to teacher to father and finally to producer. I also got a chance to talk to a few Skidmore acts about their take on the local music scene.
Audio engineers, and they're like often like, I went to grad school at NYU and like, and I'm like, I looked it up on the internet and stole my brother's Ableton software. Like,
a lot of my students have their own home setups, and more power to them. I think it's great. But you can certainly tell the difference between someone who recorded at home and doesn't know what they're doing, and someone who recorded at home and does know what they're doing.
Well, what I'm trying to do is work with a producer this summer so that they can teach me what they know about production so I can get better and kind of learn through trial and error with somebody who actually knows what they're doing, because right now it's just kind of me talking to myself and like trying to figure it out. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But oh, it comes and goes away.
I think that a lot of people do come to me because of my musicality and how I work with clients.
Can't stop them now.
I'm not just an engineer who hits the button and says, okay, you can start recording. I'm here to work with a person.
Any suggestions for that?
Not without really knowing what you're going for.
Yeah.
Do you just mean like as far as a part?
Just like, I guess like tone, or like,
Are those like kind of the words you're going for?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Devil's in control, can't stop it.
And what I'd like to hear is like some gospel, like, oh, kind of behind that.
I'm not doing
that. No, you're going to do it, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, the goal for a long time has been to not have it in my basement. But being in Saratoga, that is a bit of a challenge because real estate in Saratoga is a little pricey these days. But there's advantages and disadvantages to having a home studio. The advantage, of course, is that I can just come downstairs and work whenever I want. The disadvantage is that it's always right here, and you tend to come down here more than you should, instead of saying, all right, I'm going to work for 8 hours, and then when I come home, I'm separated from it. You know, as far as home studio setups, kind of what we were talking about, you can do some really, really good recordings in home studios.
Told yourself to leave soon and then you did it. I never really worked on mixing and mastering and recording and stuff like that, and then I was just kind of like, well, I'm tired of waiting around for other people to do it for me, so I'm just gonna do it myself. And I feel like that's just like where I've ended up in every situation creatively.
Live instrumentation. I'd love to use live instrumentation. It's just I don't really have the means to do it. I'm a percussionist at heart, and you know, if I had a drum set, I surely would be making the drums myself, but I can't. So you know, I gotta either sample them or produce them.
For my stuff, I'd rather go and kind of get even more so involved with the music making process and be able to put entirely my voice into something that I create. So I decided that making the music, like the production as well, gives even more of a deeper level and a deeper meaning to what you're creating and putting out there.
My name's Emma Ziesing.
What do you do?
Cry mostly.
A lot of people can do recording at home right now, right? You can get a laptop, you can get GarageBand.
GarageBand would literally just crap out on me.
You can get a $50 microphone. So a lot of people, if they are learning how to do this, don't think they have to go to a studio, and that's fine. And people do, you know, record themselves, and they might send it to somebody else who has a little more knowledge on the mixing side of things.
I mixed it, I mastered it, I was ready to export the file, and my computer just fucking crashed.
And that's kind of what I say to people. Well, I can just do this at home. Okay, well you can. But do you know where to put the microphone? Do you have a nice microphone? Is it going to sound good? After you record on your own, do you know how to use equalization and compression and limiters and do any amount of mastering to make your recording sound professional? And then, you know, on top of that, as I kind of said, I think people go to studios for the input as well. And I think that's why a lot of people come to me, just for that musical input.
I don't like seafood, but hot day out. Tell me about the time.
I write music.
You write music?
I do.
What kind of music?
Shitty music.